Paulina DaCosta. Paulina DaCosta on percussion. Tying in with today's tunes. What up, what up, what up? STEM research. Mike MFN Love, or just Mike Love to those that know me, and Fresh G to everybody else. What's up? Welcome to another edition. It is the last day of February 28th. Still Pisces season. Shout out to the Pisces. Shout out to all my good friends in the Pisces Zodiac who have been celebrating all the February Pisces, including my daughter, Tamara, a.k.a. Lesson, who was our first moderator on Twitch until she pulled a normal Pisces move and was like, I'm tired of this. I'm out of here. It was fun while it lasted. Thank you for asking me to do this, but I'm not excited anymore. That's the Pisces way. I'm excited about something initially, and then a month, 2 months later, bleh. But you know what? STEM research, I am excited about this all the time. Song Tracks Essential Music, that is what the S, the T, the E, and the M stand for. I do research. I play multi-track recordings of some of the greatest songs ever recorded, and then I go into those tracks individually. These are the actual studio master tracks that were given to me. They were given to me by friends who are in the industry, people who know people. How do you get stems? Where do they come from? Where do these multi-track masters come from? They're called stems because sometimes when you are taking a 48-track master recording, you need to what we call bounce it down to smaller versions, right? Cheryl Lynn may have used 8 tracks to record her vocals, but when I open up my session, I only see 2 because they bounced it down into stems. So instead of it being her high, middle, and lower vocal range, now it's just all of it all mashed together into stems. So sometimes multi-track recordings are called stems by the uninformed, but the informed call them multis or multi-track recordings. So when I play the instrumental to this song, it is the actual studio recording. I did not run this song through any type of software. There are many softwares available, free and for purchase, that you can get out there that take a song and break it down into 4 or 6 different components. The 4 main components being, of course, instrumental, vocal, bass, and drums. Okay, maybe it doesn't strip everything away to drums, but you get the idea. So there are some very powerful software out there that breaks songs into stems, but nothing's more powerful than the actual studio recording. And that is what we use, and that is what we are going through today, through some a multi-track recording that has been floating in the game for about 2 years. And I say to myself, as a multi-track B-lister or C-lister, I say I'm C. I say I'm a C-lister, meaning, A-listers are Tom Moulton, Dimitri from Paris. I'm trying to think of my man, John Morales, Mike Morrow. Like, those are the guys. Khan. Those are the guys that have everything. DJ Spinner, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The list goes on. Those are just the people that come to the top of my mind. They have stuff so rare that, like, Tom Moulton is like the king of remixing. He did the first remix, and he remixed and mixed so many records, he actually kept the tapes. So not only did he keep the tapes, he kept the tapes and he transferred them, and he still has it. So he's still doing mixes and remixes of songs that nobody has, like the labels don't even have, because there were fires and they burned down. Oh, there's so many stories. I could go into so many things. But hey, what is STEM Research? STEM Research is a show that is part history lesson. It is part music history lesson. It is part debate. It is part my humor and comedy, and also a little bit of my prickly personality that sometimes pushes people away. But it is what it is. I am who I am. This is me. And we got a good one today. As I said, a song that has been floating in the STEMosphere. I'm going to start using that word. Can we write that down for usage? It has been floating in the STEMosphere since it was remixed 2 years ago by a guy named Groove Funkle. Groove Funkle has a page on YouTube where he does remixes of songs from their original master tapes, the original master tracks. And guess what? He has a remix that has been up there for 2 years of the song we are playing today, which is a track from the album Triumph called Your Ways. Why is this? So, first off, it was like, bro, 2 years ago, bro, how do you have that? Like, how are you doing a remix? And it was, it's such a great remix. It's a great remix because anytime you can stunt with the stems, as I like to say, that was my first version. My first version of STEM Research was stunting with stems, where basically you sit on a computer and you're basically doing what I do now, which is like, look what I got. So his remix, it's a song from the album. And if you know Triumph, you know this song. It's the third song on the album. And it's a banger. But it was like, bro, you have that? You did a remix of that, and it's an incredible remix. Because anytime you can take drums, I'm telling you, this is why I love doing STEM Research. Because when you can go in and you can just remove elements and you can just hear just the Rhodes piano and the horns and the percussion, it's like, wow, that's amazing. And it is. It is an amazing thing that you didn't really know that you needed in your life. I didn't know I needed it until I started going through the various songs. As I say on this show sometimes, when Operator M's, who was one of my STEM godfathers, shout out to him, one of the first stems that I remember going through, and it truly is a stem, is Funkin' for Jamaica by Tom Brown. And I just listened to the rap, and I was like, like my chin hit the floor, because that's my favorite part of the song, is the guys talking in the beginning of the song all the way up until Tony Smith starts singing. And of course, Tony Smith singing is an incredible part of the song too, but the talking, like, only black people could make a song where they talk shit for 2 minutes and then the song starts. That's it. It doesn't get much better. Jamaica fun. Wait, we're 3 minutes in, bro. It didn't matter. They were talking. Yeah, it was a groove playing as well. Anyway, let's get to the greatness that is the Triumph album. Let us start. Let's dive into the conversation. All right. That is what this show is about. It's about breaking down not only the song, but, as I said, history and music history. So the Triumph album is released in 1980, and it is on the heels of Michael Jackson's, not his debut solo, but his Epic Records debut solo, Off the Wall. As I say all the time, especially to my man, Operator M's, we have some very interesting Triumph conversations, because we are, like, I think that Jackson's fans are Triumph geeks. Like, we love Triumph. And the reason we love Triumph is because Triumph, as I like to say, is dripping with off-the-wall sauce. there is off the wall sauce all over the Triumph album. Michael Jackson. Now, and that's not taking anything away from Destiny, because Destiny, which came out in '78, it's a very busy time for Michael Jackson. He did The Wiz and 3 albums in a 3-year span, man. Incredible. Absolutely incredible run from him. But you have the Destiny album in 1978, which to me is dripping in Gamble and Huff sauce. It's a little bit of a Gamble and Huff feel with the string arrangements on that. Then you have Off the Wall, which is Quincy Jones comes in and is like, this is how you make an album. And I think that Triumph, as I said, is feels a lot like Off the Wall. It comes in with like 4 straight up-tempo bangers. It is a disco album in 1978, which, again, another thing that I say a lot of things on this show regularly. So if you're a regular watcher of STEM Research, shout out to the Stimulators, our original fam on Twitch. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to y'all. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Normally I do that right off the bat, but I'm so excited about presenting the STEM and talking about it and especially playing it that I forgot my thank you. So thank you to the Stimulators on Twitch. Thank you to the STEM fam on Facebook. Shout out to y'all as well. And shout out to everyone who watches on YouTube and Twitter as well. Okay, so 1980, as I said, this album, Michael brings along Greg Fillinganes, because Greg Fillinganes is a very big part of the musical formation of Off the Wall. So Greg Fillinganes is the associate producer for the Triumph album. And as I said, Triumph sounds a lot like, arrangement-wise, a lot like what we heard on the Off the Wall. I think Michael Jackson, as I said, being in the studio with Quincy, being in the studio with Greg Fillinganes, being in the studio with all those great studio musicians, and how he watches everything, I think that he was like, okay, this is how you make an album. And of course, on the Destiny album, that's the Jacksons getting the opportunity to write songs really get in and write songs for an album. So they came out the gate, did their thing. Michael Jackson's writing on Off the Wall and more on this album, and even more on Thriller. So when you listen to Can You Feel It and Lovely One and the song that we're playing today, Your Ways, they're all up-tempo. And getting back to what I was saying about things that I say on this show, it's 1980. Disco died, quote-unquote, in 1979, the summer of 1979. Disco didn't die in 1979. They did not kill disco at Sox Park in July of 1979. It didn't happen. It did not happen, because this album came out. When did this album release? In October 1980. And Walk Right Now is definitely a disco song, and it was definitely a single. It didn't do all that great, but this song, Your Ways, was the B-side of that song. One of the cool things, I wanted to do because I'm always talking about albums that are arguably the best album from an artist, right? I'm always comparing albums. So I wanted to do a breakdown that's similar to boxing. You know, anytime two boxers step in the ring, there's always a tale of the tape. They give you their age, their reach, all of their height, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I always do this type of thing, and I said, I'm going to do a tale of the cassette tape, a tale of the tape for arguably the Jacksons' 2 great best albums. And this, I don't like where this is sitting in the screen, so I'm going to move it. I'm going to move it over a little bit. There we go. There we go. All right. So a tale of the tape. Destiny versus Triumph. So this is for Jackson's fans that will argue which album is the best Jackson's album, right? It's between Destiny and Triumph. Like, let's be clear. All right, so here it is. Tale of the cassette tape. Destiny was sold 4 million copies versus Triumph was sold 2 million copies. Let's start with the first cut. That's how we're going to do it, right? Blame It on the Boogie from Destiny versus Can You Feel It from Triumph. That's Blame It on the Boogie is a remake, and a damn good remake, and one of my favorite. An incredible way to kick off the album. You can't ask for a better first song on Destiny. Let's be clear. But Can You Feel It? Man, please. The video for Can You Feel It starts the Triumph tour. All right? It's the Jacksons. They're 90 feet tall, and they're sprinkling sparkly dust over the world and singing about making it a better place. Can You Feel It wins. All right, let's go to the next song. Push Me Away versus Lovely One. Man, all right. I'm going Push Me Away on this one. I'm going Push Me Away. It's, for me, when it comes to album formatting, to go from a Blame It on the Boogie to Push Me Away, that's a hell of a musical jump. You know what I'm saying? It takes some guts to sequence an album like that, to go from an up-tempo song to like something laid back like Push Me Away. Lovely One is a great song. I like that song a lot. But I'm going Push Me Away. If I had to choose one song or the other, I'm going Push Me Away. You might go Lovely One. You might go 2 for 2 for Triumph. But that's why it's my show. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. All right, on to number 3. Things I Do For You from Destiny versus Your Ways. Your Ways. It's the song we're doing. It's winning because it's the song we're doing, and we've got stems. Do we have multi-track masters for Things I Do For You? No, we don't. Moving on. All right, so Triumph wins on that side. Shake Your Body Down to the Ground versus Everybody. I don't even know what Everybody sounds like, and I just listened to the album. Shake Your Body Down to the Ground wins because it's a classic freaking Jackson 5 song. All right, moving on. All right, next song, head-to-head, Destiny versus Heartbreak Hotel. Destiny is the title track from the album Destiny, and it's trash. Heartbreak Hotel is a Jackson 5 classic, a Jackson's classic, and a Michael Jackson classic. Nothing is topping that. Absolutely nothing is beating Heartbreak Hotel. You could put Heartbreak Hotel against anything on Destiny, and it's losing. Blessed Soul versus Time Waits for No One. Time Waits for No One. All right, moving on. All Night Dancing versus Walk Right Now. Walk Right Now is disco trash. And All Night Dancing, I don't even remember what that sounds like. Did I do Blessed Soul? All right. All Night Dancing versus Give It Up. Give It Up is a Steppers classic. I don't even know if Steppers play it, but it's got a Steppers feel. And it feels very rare groovish. All right, so I'm going with Give It Up versus All Night Dancing. Did I go Walk Right Now versus Blessed Soul? Blessed Soul, I'm going Walk Right Now. Time Waits for No One over Destiny. All right, so we're caught up. I'm missing a line. That's what you get for being polite versus wondering who. That's what you get for being polite. Is one of the great. Say it with me. It's one of the great Jackson 5 songs of all time. It's one of the great songs of all. It's one of the great Jackson songs. It's one of the great Jackson's album cuts of all time. That's what you get for being polite? Please, bro. Don't let me get my hands on those multis. That's what you get for being polite. Takes out almost everything on Triumph. So, if we go through the tail of the tape, I have Triumph as a winner. I have Triumph, even though Destiny sold 4 million copies, the fan favorite. It's like Off the Wall. It's like Off the Wall versus Thriller, ladies and gentlemen. It is that never-ending debate on which one is better. All right. So after all of that debate, there is only one thing to do, and that is to hop into the song. All right. And again, let me know in the comments your favorite of the two albums. Let me know if you prefer Destiny over Triumph or Triumph over Destiny. As I said, I think that Triumph is the better album. It is the slicker album. It is the better produced album. It is the disco album. It is the dance album. Disco was still alive and kicking in 1980. Trust me. And not only was it alive and kicking, there's even a song on the album that has a feel like Solar Records, Sound of Los Angeles, like that kind of a groove, that kind of feel. So musically, it is in tune with the times, and it is I don't want to say a timeless album, because some of the songs, they're not dated, but again, a great album. Songs written, produced by the Jacksons. The arrangements on this song are from Tom 84, aka Mr. Tom Washington from Chicago, Illinois, who you may know as an arranger. He was house arranger for so many of the early Brunswick records, Shy Lights. One of my favorite Brunswick songs of all time, The Lost Generation Slide, Slick in the Wicked, 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 Wicked. He was probably the one that was like, hit that echo. He arranged Leroy Hudson, Gene Chandler, The Emotions, Tyrone Davis. The man had his hands in a lot. September by Earth, Wind, and Fire. Denise Williams, so many. If you see Tom 84 in the credits, that's the man, and he's from Chicago, and he is another one of those unsung musical heroes that we don't hear people talk a lot about, because he's not an artist, right? We talk about Curtis because Curtis is an artist. But so many of the people that played with Curtis don't get talked about. So many people that arranged the records don't get talked about. And that's another reason why this show exists, to bring those people into the forefront, to give them some credit and some props. So please look him up, Tom Washington, Tom 84. It's much better to Google Tom 84 than Tom Washington, because I'm sure there's some white celebrity named Tom Washington and be like, hey, here I am. Thank you for Googling me. Here's my Wikipedia page. Thomas Washington. Sure. I've been here my whole life. All right. So Triumph was the first Jackson's album to go number one on the R&B chart since Maybe Tomorrow, which is slightly odd considering Destiny sold 2 million more copies in 1978. So it's odd that album didn't go number one, which just goes to show you that 78 was a hell of a year for music. That's a hell of a year if the Jacksons get beat out and don't go number one. Yeah, so Greg Gaines is all over this song, playing a multitude of keyboard parts. Oh, this is what I want to play. I want to do this for my cousin DMT. So my cousin Todd, who is the guy that more or less gave me the will to mix, showed me how to be on beat with mixing and pause mixing and all of that. So he posted a while back. He posts a lot of music videos. Let me punch up Triumph. Okay, your way. Okay. All right. Will it go back? No, it won't. All right. So he posted this song on his Facebook page. And I was like, this was like 2 years ago. And I was like, bro, I don't even remember this song. This is crazy. And it went Like a song can go from I don't remember it to favorites just like that because of how the song is arranged and how it sounds and all those other things. So I was like, bro, I don't even remember that song. I gotta punch up Triumph. I'm sorry. I need to be more. There we go. All right. So Todd remembers everything. DMT, he remembers everything. And he's like, you don't remember this song? It goes from Lovely One straight into this song, and it's on beat. And I was like, how do you remember that? He was like, because I had the album. And you would just let the album play. That's how we listened to albums back in the day. You just let the album play. So the album starts with Can You Feel It? Then it goes into Lovely One. Oh, this whole show is going to get blocked. All right. But at the end of the song, let me play the end of the song and how it goes straight in. He was like, he was so geeked. He was like, I know this song because it goes from Lovely One straight into Your Ways. All right? So this show is just going to be banned on YouTube and Facebook. But I'm just doing it to prove a point. So it's fading. I'm playing this from my phone, obviously. Keep going. Keep going. Don't stop. 1, 2. That is the coldest shit ever, bro. Bro, that is the coldest shit ever. Just album sequencing. All right, so let's dive in, right? I just wanted to share that with you guys because that is something my cousin was like, that's why I remember that song, because it goes straight into that. All right, so here we are, live from the studio. Your Ways, an album cut, the third song on the Triumph album, dripping, as I said, with off the wall juice and Greg Fillingane's juice. He plays keyboards, arranged by TomTom84. I thought Jerry Hay played horns on this because the horn section is so strong, but he is not credited for horns on the song. As a matter of fact, no one is. And no one is credited for drums either, which pisses me off because Ollie Brown of Ollie and Jerry, and he also played drums on a lot. It was a great session drummer, played drums on DeBarge Records and so many others. I'm giving Ollie Brown credit. I can't give John Robinson credit for playing drums on this album because his name's nowhere on the album. But also, one of the things that we've learned from doing STEM research is just because someone's name is not in the credits does not mean that they didn't do it. The drummer on this song is probably one of those people. It could be John Robinson. It could be Ollie Brown. It could be anybody, but they are not credited. Neither is Jerry Hay. So, but TomTom84 is. So let's dive in. As I said 10 minutes ago that we were going to do, let's get into it. Your Ways on STEM research. That was a quick count-in. I got to do count-ins twice. If you're a fan of the show, you already know. That was quick. 1, 2, boom, boom. All right, boom. But it's there, and we love it. All right, so I'm not going to interrupt anymore. Let's go. Powerful music. You should have did your homework. If you're not familiar with this album cut, you should have did your homework. I gave you homework on Sunday to be ready for Monday.
Discovered it courtesy of my cousin. I was like, I just couldn't stop listening to this song. It deserves to be considered with the great Jackson songs. So, Tom 84 in his own right is a hell of an arranger and a hell of a horn arranger. I mean, the man arranged September, which is so many people consider one of the great horn performances of the 70s, right? But this instrumental, just letting the instrumental ride? Ooh. Tom, you did work, baby. That's Chicago right there. Excited to finally get these multi-track master stems after they've been floating 2 years after the Groove Funkle remix. Once he touched it, I was like, it's only a matter of time. He was like, I will never leak these stems. I was like, come on, bro. 2 years, man. Come on, man. Love it. All right, there it is. Your Ways. As I said, like, it is not a song that was released as a single. It is not a popular Jackson song. It is the B-side to the Walk Right Now single, which
you know, if you had the Walk Right Now single like in 1980, which I remember, like, I was like, this is the worst. This is the worst. Like, Walk Right Now is like they could have done a lot better to put this on the A side. I could see Walk Right Now just has such a disco. If they had released that in '79, like maybe, but obviously Michael Jackson had other plans in '79. He was doing other things. That's another thing. I talk about the off the wall juice that is dripping from the Triumph album and why it's so slick. You have to realize that Off the Wall as an album was released August 10th in 1979 and Triumph October 18th in 1980. That's 14 months. 1 year and 2 months later, Michael Jackson did not get a breather. His brothers were like, let's go. Oh, the tour? Oh, that'll be the Jackson. No, there's no Off the Wall tour. You're coming on tour with us. Michael Jackson still, man, he was still tied to the brothers, man. God bless him for that. Because once Thriller came out, there's not another Jackson's album. The live album came out in '81, which is basically the Triumph tour. And that's the Jackson's tour that I went to as a kid. But there's not another Jackson's album till Victory in 1984, and Victory sucks. State of Shock is the first single, and I refuse to do. No, you know what? I refuse to do a lot of stems, but those shows always work well. So what do I know about music? State of Shock sucks to me, but I hated Bad, and I did it, and people were like, "Yeah, Bad. It's Michael Jackson, bro." So watch, I'll do State of Shock, and it'll be the greatest show ever done on this show. All right. So now is the time that we do what we do and show what makes STEM research a special show. We start going in and soloing or pulling back the covers, right? Pulling back the shade and allowing you to just hear the individual instruments. And I want to do a really deep dive into this song, which not only means that we're going to show love to all of the instruments and all the instrumentation, but I also want you to hear some of the instruments soloed with just some of the instruments. So normally how I break these songs down is I just go through and I play the drums and I play the bass and I play the guitars and I play all the horns. But this is such a great song. The drums and the backbeat are the skeleton, the engine for any song as far as I'm concerned. That's why I always start with the drums. Nothing moves black folks like drums, man. I'm black folks, by the way. People, man, I gotta get off this color thing. I'm 56 years old, man. I'm sorry, I was born in the segregation. You gotta forgive me. There's segregation in my lifetime. Can you say that? Not segregation. I mean, obviously there's segregation. I mean, there's segregation throughout all the cities. I mean, I'm just saying, like literal. I don't remember blacks only faucets, drinking faucets, but they existed in my lifetime. That's what I'm saying. What's that got to do with the song, bro? I tune in for the music, not a Black History lesson. Today's the last day of Black History Month, so let me get all this out. And shout out to our fans and followers that are not black. We love you. I love you. Thank you for being here. This is why this show cannot have more than 10 fans at a time. Just shut up and play the stems, bro.
That's a strong tom. Just the kick. That's a straight 4-on-4 right there. This could be anybody on drums. It could be Ollie Brown. It could be John Robinson. John Robinson is not credited anywhere on this album. These are strong drums, though. And, I hate that. Like, I hate not being able to give credit where credit is due on this album. I look at the credits for the album. And, it says, arranged by TomTom84, backing vocals The Jacksons, bass by Nathan Watts, guitar by David Williams and Phil Upchurch, percussion by Paulino da Costa, and is written by Jackie Jackson. That's it. Every other song has Ollie Brown on drums. Ollie Brown on drums. You know, like, what happened? Lovely One is, you know what? Lovely One has the same damn people playing on it, and it's arranged by TomTom84. We're going with Ollie Brown on drums on this. Sometimes I do that on this show. I make a declaration. All right, let's put the full drum mix back in. These are quality drums. This is. Hear that guitar. Wow. Those drum mics catch everything. Music history, debate. It's all a part of what we do on STEM Research. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 6 o'clock on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook Live. And sometimes they had to count out like we're done. He was like, I sold our good friend, who's arranging this? So it could be Greg Fillinganes. It could be TomTom84. But, you can't get Quincy on everything. Right? All right. So that's where we started. We start with the drums, then we go to bass. So we have Mr. Nathan Watts on bass. You would know Mr. Watts from his playing with Steve Morris. He is Stevie Wonder's musical director on tour, and he played bass on a lot of Stevie Wonder albums. He joined Stevie in the 1970s. And his bass playing was often laid down in the studio on demo tracks, and then Stevie would come behind it and erase the track and replay all that with a keyboard bass. Be like, thanks, Stevie. But I mean, how does that feel? Like, that's not me, but I created that. Oh, that's me. No, it's not. That's Stevie Wonder. Yeah, but I came up with it. We are breaking down the album cut. You see the title. You see the title on the screen. Your Ways by the Jacksons from 1980. One of the great album tracks, and there are a lot of great album tracks on this album, which of course is Triumph. I'm sorry. This cut is such a groove, man. Like I said, when I rediscovered it, it was on. I could not stop listening to the song. Big part. This is big solo. Vibe out with it. Come on. Back to the bridge. Take it up. Beautiful playing. All right, let's drop some Kabasa, I'm sorry. A little behind. They're obviously snapping to the drums and not the bass. Okay. Come on, Nate. Sometimes you gotta just feel it, right? That is what the live instrument feel is about. And that's what's missing from music is chord changes. It's like that, just little feel things, you know? He would have got fired from James Brown's band doing that. James would be like, you playing. Hey. Take it up an octave, take it down, you know? I was listening to myself do the payback. I was like, just listening to the monotony of just those guitar licks and those bass licks, like just no change up. I was like, ugh. Maybe I understand now. I understand now why the white executives that were going to have James do the payback was supposed to be for a soundtrack, and they were like, nah, we don't hear it. I understand what they hear now. They're crazy, but I understand it now better as an adult. All right, what do we have? We have so many guitars. We have electric guitar here. We have another, either that's L guitar. So that could be who played it. Let's see who played guitar on this. Phil Upchurch, David Williams, Tito. Tito Jackson is credited for playing guitar on the album, but he is not credited for playing guitar on this song. So we will see what the guitar lines sound like. And slowly building a track with a little wah-wah guitar. That's nasty. Let's take that back because that wah guitar and then the guitar answer, as I like to call it. It's like the conversation between the two instruments is amazing. And
That's that is my, and maybe actual instrumentalists, people that play instruments, can tell me what that is actually called. But that is what I always call it, because it's like a call and response between two instruments. So the question and the answer. So let's bring that back. Ray Parker Jr. style. Put the bass back in. We are building the greatness of your ways. Arranged by the great Tom Washington. Chicago's own Ida B. Wells. Back when Ida B. Wells was Ida B. Wells. Back when the projects was the projects. Okay, so that. Paulino DaCosta on percussion. I'm sorry. And that's what makes part of what makes this song great, is how it keeps bouncing back between these chord changes and these different vibes, octaves. I used to call it the roller coaster, because as a person that is a DJ but not musically trained, I've always had to have ways to explain the music. One of those things was what I just did a few minutes ago when I said, like, the question and answer, the instruments talking to each other. Another thing as the roller coaster would just be like a roller coaster ride where it's just peaks and valleys. And this song has plenty of that, peaks and valleys. Drop the bass back in. David Williams, Phil Upchurch, possibly Tito Jackson. They say Tito plays a mean guitar, man. Tito Jackson fans. Chicago old school. Where y'all at? Capricorn 80. Capricorn's Cave. Lee Williams. Mr. Majors. Shout out to all my OGs, man. All right. We are rolling through the instruments. We had drums, bass, guitars. What are those snaps tied to? That's what I want to know. They were like, I'm not mad at there's this Dilettante book we talked about. Or did I talk about that? Yeah, I did talk about that because I was talking about It's a Shame and the fact that his father claims that someone stole It's a Shame. But time is always, it's okay to be a little off or a little early or a little late. And Jay Dilla proved that. So this is not super in time on the 1-1. It's a little, because it's live, right? But it goes with the drums, hella. They are snapping to the drums. But every instrument is in its own space. It's not quantized. It's not computerized. Everything is live. All right, let's get to some Greg Fillingane's work. Greg absolutely did work on this song. And what he did helped to make this song great. You have to realize that when it comes to keyboards, piano, Rhodes, Greg Fillingane's played Rhodes on I Can't Help It. Like, just to give you an example of his playing. He is a master player, was brought in to help shape the sound of this album because he was a very big part of the sound of Off the Wall. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, Michael Jackson not only helped write and produce a lot of these songs and a lot of the songs on Off the Wall, but the brothers are taking his input because Off the Wall, even though this album is released 14 months after Off the Wall is released, they're recording, it has to be 6-7 months into Off the Wall, which is, again, why there's no big Off the Wall tour or anything like that. As I said, the Triumph Tour is the Off the Wall tour, bro. Just bring your ass in with your brothers. So we have the great Greg Fillinganes. All right, so there's a lot to take in there. There's a lot going on. And I want to start off first with this Yamaha, which, along with the Rhodes, in my opinion, are other. There's a lot of different things that make up the meat of this song. The things that I hear the most are this Yamaha. Let me let it play. Yamaha ODs. No, not that. Not that. It must be just keys. Let me hit keys. That dreamy thing going on. So that is that, the bass and the drums and the horns. And that, my friends, is a stem. You can hear that that's a stem. And a stem is a bunch of different things stacked and bounced. Because there's no way that there's a Rhodes and that dreamy pad. That's what it is, a dreamy pad playing underneath it. This is just the Rhodes by itself. The Rhodes is a very, 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 very important electric piano. Very important. So Greg Phillinganes, all of the keys, all of them. So just imagine, like your work isn't done. Like you're playing keyboards, piano, Jupiter, pads. Let's punch everything in. Now look, there's just a funky Jupiter key that just comes in. Let's take everything out. Let's drop everything because it's STEM research and that's what we do. Spotlight. So let's pull it back. The Yamaha overdrive and then the Jupiter solo. Can you imagine? I wish I just had that pad. Oh my God, I love that pad. Go back. Somebody get me all 48 tracks of Your Ways. I want the pad. I want the... Or that could be... You know what that could be? That's the Chamberlain system. Okay. That's the Chamberlain sisters. I'm an idiot. Okay. All right. I'm an idiot. I'm an absolute idiot. And I forgot because I put this with the background vocals because it is labeled Chamberlain Sis background vocals. I'm an idiot. So basically, here's another Greg Phillinganes. That's why Greg Phillinganes is the MVP of this song. So that pad that I was talking about, that the sound is the Chamberlain M4 or M2, one of them, which is another keyboard. And basically, this is labeled Chamberlain Sis background vocals. So it's labeled as if there's somebody named the Chamberlain sister singing background vocals. But that's a keyboard. So it's him playing in different octaves, obviously. So that's what I was looking for. So it's a nowadays it would be a plug-in. So I'm quick to almost want to call it a plug-in. But it's a mode of the keyboard where it's a female vocal mode. So he's just playing it to the tune of the song. So let me pull in another instrument. Oh, we're doing a deep dive. Oh, this song, we're deep diving this song. When I said this is a deep dive, ladies and gentlemen, I've been waiting 2 years for this stem. Been waiting since 2020, baby. All right, let's bring this down here with Rhodes. So as I said, this sound is a prevalent sound in the song. And all it is a keyboard mode, a setting. I hope I got that right. Where's the bass? Let's go back to the piano. All right, we did that already. I'm doing the Chamberlain. The Chamberlain Sisters. So again, it's not even spelled like that. It's not Chamberlain Sisters. It's like Chamberlain is the name of the company that made the keyboard, the M4. They did a lot of early rhythm machines, drum machines, rhythm, the type of rhythm that you would hear in Family Affair and Why Can't We Live Together? Like those types of records that had that drums sound, but they weren't a drum machine, but they were. Yeah. So Greg Fillinganes, absolutely amazing work. Absolutely amazing. So it sounds like, it is actual singing, but it's again him playing the keys, and we still haven't gotten to the strings and the horns yet, or vocals. Vocals are last. All right, let's fill in. See how it's a little behind? Certain instruments are just kind of, and I've said this from Children's Story to now, that unevenness, that's what Jay Dilla understood, is when you bring all these elements together and press them all and put everything on top of everything, it all sounds like everything is on the one, but it's not always. Something can be a little bit behind something else. To create a feel or a space. And that's what I love. That's what I love about the process of making songs. And those are the things that I never would have known until I started doing this show, where it's like, let's pull back the curtain and see how they did this, and it's absolutely amazing. All right, strings and horns. If I think from a Philly standpoint, I think Don Ronaldo and his horns and strings, right? They kind of all go together because these are sometimes your classically trained musicians. So that's why I play them together. Obviously, this is not a Philadelphia recording, and this is not Don Ronaldo's horns and strings. This is still Mr. Tom Washington. Did I mention that he that he arranged the emotions? Yeah, man. And Tom 84. I've seen that name come up so many times. You're like Tom 84. Like, what kind of name is that? But you know, you got to dig deep and give credit where credit is due, man. He did a hell of a job arranging this song. Still would like to know who played what. As I listened more closely to this song, I was quick to want to give Jerry Hay, but these trumpets, I said this earlier, Tom 84, Tom Washington is a great horn arranger in his own right. So let me not take anything away from him. He arranged the horns in September among so many other great records. But the more I listen to this stripped back, it doesn't sound like Jerry Hay and his horn arrangements. Because while his horn arrangements have a very kind of a quick staccato feel, these do too, but they're a little different. All right, strings and horns. These have more of an earth, wind, and fire. Somebody was a little early. Somebody was a little early on their horn part. Read the music in front of you, bro. Yeah, these have more of an earth, wind, and fire kind of a feel, and that's probably why he was brought in. Like, this guy arranged September. Get him. He's out here in L.A. Screwed that up. Now, are these actual strings, or is this we'll deep dive the strings as well. Make sure this isn't a keyboard strings. All right. So I'm going to pull back on the horns, so no horns, just strings, to see if these are actual strings. Yep. We have strings. Love it. We're just gonna let the strings go for a minute. We'll get back to horns. We'll bring it back. We're doing a deep dive. Oh, this song, man. This song deserves it. Your Ways. Cut 3 from Triumph. Come on, strings. Everybody got in on that part. Bass, piano, strings, horns. Strings were such a big part of the records, man. Adding that depth. That might be it for the strings to the end. Bing, bing, bing. That Rhodes is so fucking out of control. Ah, shit! This shit is out of control, bro. This is an album cut, man. Like, they put in work on albums. Pulling in full orchestras. Greg Fillingane's on 18 different keyboards. Like, bro, they snapped on a song that wasn't even released as an A-side of a single. Ba-da-bop. Okay, so I promised I was going to go back to the horns. So I was spotlighting the horns and the strings, and then I said, let me take the horns out. So we'll spotlight the strings and the horns, and then we'll let the horns eat, like we let the strings. S.T.E.M research, a deep dive into your ways. Oh, there's a bongo in here I have not punched up. All right, let's take the strings out. All right, it is time to spotlight Tom 84's horn, French horns, trumpets, sax, and trombones. You know that part. Everybody's doing it. Paulino da Costa. Where was that playing? That was nowhere near the one. He was on his he was on some my God, that bongo solo sounded a lot like I'm Your Pusher. Like the I'm Your Pusher. My guy from I forget his name. I know I don't remember anything. Y'all know I don't remember nothing. I love where he's playing in between shit. Oh man, that is what music is all about. It's about feel. It's not, everything is not on the one. I want to play an instrument that is on the one, that is going through this. So let me put in the hi-hats just so I can show you where he is with that bongo playing. That's so fucking nasty. Okay, let me take the horns out. And when I say this is a deep dive, it's a deep fucking dive, bro. Y'all riding with me or you're not riding with me, right? This is the kind of stuff that I live to do, right? This is why I created STEM research, because I hear things and it's like, that's incredible. Do that again. Bring that back. Bring that back. Bring that back. I'm just going to bring it back one more time just to show his rhythm. Paulino DaCosta, of course, probably the most recorded percussionist in the history of the music industry. That part. Yeah, he fucking killed that, bro. He absolutely killed that. Absolutely killed that. All right, let's get back to the horns. I'm sorry. Let's get back. Naima says it best, and I love when she says this. It's so dope. She's like, I listen to music differently because of this show. Like, that is the biggest compliment that you can give me on this show, that it made you hear things differently. I listen to songs differently because of this show. Come on, French horns. Or Miss Aima. All right. Naima. Did I get it right? Naima. I'm sorry. Did I say Aima? I don't know. Miss Naima. Naima from Not Another Goddamn Podcast. Thank you for saying that. So yeah, Tom 84 in his own right is a hell of a horn, a hell of a arranger. Sly, slick, and wicked. Come on. Gene Chandler, Shy Lights, The Emotions, Tyrone Davis, Ramsey Lewis, Jerry Butler, Lolita Holloway. So many names. And like I said, that Earth, Wind, and Fire song. That'll put you over the top. Like, get that guy. All right. Okay, so we did all of those. We did a bunch of instruments together. Let's get the vocals. Let's get to them vocals. A lot of exciting things happening in the vocal perspective because it's Michael Jackson. Although this song is credited as the Jacksons, I don't hear them. I don't hear them. Maybe they're singing in this background track. Maybe. But this sounds like all Michael Jackson. And why wouldn't you give him the keys to the car after Off the Wall? This album is off the wall too, bro. That is what Triumph is. It is slick, it is clean, it is precise, it is upbeat. It feels a lot like even the song Everybody is, I think that's the name of the song.
from. Let me look at my track listing to get it right, because y'all know how fuck a song title up in a heartbeat. Yep, Everybody. The song Everybody has some lyrics from a song from Off the Wall. Like, it's literally, this album is off the wall too, and they did a hell of a job on it. Michael Jackson, you give him the keys to the you give him the keys to the rolls, and you like, take this bitch wherever you want to take it, Mike. So we have one vocal track. We have Michael Jackson's Scratch Box, which we're going to say for last because that's very interesting. We have a Greg Scratch Box. That's Greg Fillinganes, just kind of giving direction. And that's something that happened a lot in the studio, but we don't see it a lot on our vocal tracks. We did with one of the, one of the Earth, Wind, and Fire songs that we did. It might have been September, where it had a Maurice White scratch vocal track, which is just them in the background, just kind of mumbling things and telling people where to take the song musically. So I might play that with the Michael Jackson scratch track. But we'll start out with Michael Jackson's Vocal 2, which is basically the main vocal for the song. So Vocal 2 is what they use for the song, and I may punch up some instruments while the vocals play to give it the feel of the song. Another very interesting thing that you'll see is Michael Jackson snaps his fingers the whole time he's singing, which would be an absolute no-no in the studio today. But who tells Michael Jackson what not to do? Mike's got to feel it, baby. He's got to feel it. And if he needs to snap while he's singing, then that's what he's going to do. Michael Jackson, your ways.
You can't say, girl, that I don't love you. Nights crying, thinking of you. I don't understand your ways.
All right. Oh, the fuck right. He's coming out the gate. Bro, Michael Joseph Jackson with lyrics written by Jackie. Okay, Jackie with the pen. Give Jackie his props. To be honest, it's not even what this song is about. It's how Mike sings. And that's what all these, from the Jackson 5, what we do on STEM Research when we spotlighted Jackson 5 song, the Jacksons of Michael Jackson, why he is number one on STEM Research is because how he lays down a vocal track. Baby, I played Bad, and it was like, I fuck with Mike. Like, I don't even fuck with Bad like that as a song. But Michael's going to give you a vote. Let's just go back. All right. I'm not going to interrupt it. Let's go back, man. Let's go back to the snaps.
You can't say, girl, that I don't love you. Nights crying, thinking of you. I don't understand your ways.
Always singing about this generic woman. Love it.
They say true love is forever gladness. All that I feel is sadness. I don't understand your ways.
Come on, Jackie with the pen. To the bridge.
You keep me walking my way back to you. You say you love me, then leave me so blue. You break my heart, then you say that we're through. But it's okay. I don't understand your ways.
That's a dope song, man. Michael Jackson singing about a girl that broke his heart.
What have I done to deserve this madness? All that I feel is sadness. I don't understand your ways.
What man can't relate? Come on, not the he-he's. Come on, Michael.
You keep me walking my way back to you.
Right?
You say you love me and let's start anew. You break my heart, then you say that we're through. Hey, no more believing in every word you say. Persuasion's deceiving, but I'm wise in every way.
Let me take that track out.
And I know about your playing
Once again, it's all Michael so
with
far.
every guy in town. So this time I'm saying, you won't fool me around. Then you get me walking my way back to you. You say you love me, then leave me so blue. You break my heart, then you say that we're through. Ah, 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 yeah. You're no good. I don't understand your ways.
Man, bro, I'm sorry, man. Michael Joseph Jackson, one of the greatest studio vocalists of all time. Look, as I'm playing this, I'm thinking of the themes and why it's important for Michael Jackson to be in the studio with his brothers, because he is now singing about things other than the disco. Like, let's be honest. It's like the depth of what he was singing about on Off the Wall is not, except the songs that were written by somebody else. Michael's singing about the club. Burn this disco. I mean, he didn't write Burn This Disco Out, but Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, Off the Wall, etc., etc. Like, he's singing on this album. This song and Heartbreak Hotel almost are hand in hand, because he's singing, even though Heartbreak Hotel to me is the Black Hotel California, like some weird ghost story about a girl in a hotel or whatever a song is about. I'm listening to the vocals of this song closely for the first time because I'm listening with you guys. That's how I listen to the song. I don't listen to the stems. I'm listening as I'm playing it. And I'm hearing a depth that I would not normally hear on a solo Michael Jackson song. Let's bring it back.
But I'm wise in every way. And I know about your playing with every guy in town.
Every guy.
So this time I'm saying, you won't fool me around.
Sounds sad, bro.
And you get me walking my way back to you. You say you love me, then leave me so blue. You break my heart, then you say that we're through. Ah, 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 yeah. You're no good.
He snapped with that. He snapped with that, bro. Bro, he snaps on this. I gotta bring that back one more freaking time.
Yeah. You're no good. I don't understand your ways.
All of this is in the song, man.
One more fool just to love and groove you. That's all that he wanna do to you. I don't understand your ways.
This is why this song is great. This is why, because this vocal performance is incredible. That's Operator M's part. M's, I see you. Fans of the song understand. Like, if you're not a fan of the song, you will be after we're done breaking it down.
Okay,
Man, I cannot. There are not enough accolades for Michael Jackson. Let's go to this background vocal track. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the vocal track with some musical accompaniment. You'll see the little differences
between the main vocal that we just played and the vocal one, which is, that was the first take. That was the second take, and that ended up being the money take.
Playing? Oh, okay. And I know about you playing doodle-doodle with every guy in town. So this time I'm saying you won't fool me around. You get me walking my way back to you. You say you love me, then leave me so blue. You break my heart and say that we're through, but it's okay. You're no good. I don't understand your ways,
Bro.
One more food just to love and groove. Oh, better one or two. I don't understand ways.
So he said hi instead of love, which like this song really is a deep Jackson 5 lover song. Like if you love the Jacksons, I don't know why I keep calling them Jackson 5. You understand why this song is great. Like this, I went from not knowing this song to it's all I was listening to because it's such an incredibly well put together song. All right, so here's vocal number 1. So what I'll do is I'll start to go through different sounds so you can hear Michael with some of the music.
You can't say, girl, that I don't love you. Now I'm trying thinking of you. I don't understand your ways. They say your love is forever sadness. Oh, that I feel is sadness. I don't understand your ways. You keep me walking my way back to you. You say you love me, but leave me so blue. You break my heart and you say that we're through, but it's okay. I don't understand your ways. What have I done to deserve this madness? Oh, that I feel in sadness. I don't understand your ways. You keep me walking my way back to you. You say you love me, but leave me so blue. You break my heart and you say that we're through. Hey, no more believe in every word you say. Persuasion's deceiving, but I'm wise in every way. And I know that you play with every guy in town. So this time I'm saying you won't fool me around. You got me walking my way back to you. You say you love me, but leave me so blue. You break my heart and you say that we're through, but it's yeah.
Vocal take number 1.
No God, I don't understand your ways.
Don't understand your ways, man.
One more fool just to love and groove you.
One more fool.
So that I want to do it to you. I don't understand your ways.
This something Jackie really went through. Like he really went through this in real life.
Let me listen to that down.
I love when Michael Jackson talks. Now, one of the best parts of the song is when he comes back, he goes, love. But he doesn't say love in all of the versions, in all of the vox, in all the vocal takes. He goes, ah. But on the main one, he says love, which is so much deeper. Let me take that percussion out. Let me take that out, and the bongos out, and the bell out. Well, it sounds like he says love. Maybe he doesn't say love. Maybe he's just saying a sound, but you say love when you sing the song. Which makes the song even deeper as a listener when I'm listening to it and what I hear. So what I heard was him saying love, and it just like basically the song's like, oh, love sucks, bro. Like, I love this girl and she's treating me bad. And so he's like, love. So maybe he says love, maybe he doesn't. But all right, so the Michael Jackson scratch vocal track and the Greg scratch vox. So I'm going to play those together. Basically what that is, you know, before people even have an idea of what the song is about, they kind of just singing this melody. And that was famously done by the Roots in the song Don't Say Nothing, you know, except the record executive heard it and was like, leave that in. Yeah, that's a million-selling record, and the record did absolutely nothing. Which was like, he played the shit out of the Roots on that one. What was that? Not David Geffen, but Jimmy Iovine. Jimmy Iovine was like, man, that's incredible, that scratch vocal track that Black Thought laid. Put the record out just like that. And that shit was trash. All right, so basically we'll have Michael Jackson just kind of gibberishing and Greg Fillinganes just kind of, you know, telling people where to go in the song. So let's play those together, and I'll eventually just kind of let Michael do his thing and then let Greg do his thing. All right, so MJ Scratch Vox, Greg Scratch Vox together. STEM Research, we are doing a deep dive into your ways. Might get comfortable close to the mic.
All right. I can't say that you're not a
Short pick up into the bridge.
I'm a bit like I'm a white like I do.
Yeah.
And a bit I'm on the do. And I'm all about the way.
Back into letter A.
Say, but it's all okay.
Yeah.
But I can understand your way.
Yeah.
Come on, Greg, sing a little bit.
Real cool. Short pick up in the bridge. Going into the C section.
day.
1, 2.
Hey, don't you believe it? Every word I say.
Feels good.
Don't you believe it? Things I say. Tired of thinking. Every time I move.
You like that, huh?
So don't need to see it. Me, I've been doing my
Big pick up into the bridge.
Don't why you want to but yeah, but and I don't want to but
You know what happens now?
but it's
Beautiful. That was beautiful.
I can understand the way, let alone understanding mine. And you say that and I forget.
We're in it, boy.
Yeah. Ooh.
Stay on D flat.
Man, who said Greg Filling Gaines can't carry a tune? All right, so let's bring it back to that super exciting breakdown. So let's let Michael do his thing, and then
Receive it. Me, I've been doing myself. Then why you wonder, but yeah, but and I
nonsense.
don't wonder, but
It's absolute gibberish.
but it's
It's like Pootie Tang meets
I can understand the way.
Pootie Tang meets
Let
Michael
alone
Jackson.
understanding mine.
Let alone admire.
And you say that and I forget. Then you, I can't understand your way. Ooh.
That's incredible to feel a song out this way. And then oh, I forgot. Rod Temperton had a scratch vocal track as well on Rock With You. Have to upload that one to Best Of. Was it Rock With You? He wrote? Or Off the Wall? Girl, close your eyes. Michael Jackson is unbeatable on the beatbox. And this is before there was any beatboxing, right? So just arrange the mic, man. Just rearrange it. All right. There it is. There it is. The deepest of deep dives. We did everything but the click track. And this show is, for me, an opportunity for me to show you guys how much I love
the songs that I listen to. Like, I be in the car with an R. That's for my Chicagoans. I be in the car losing my mind. Only people from Chicago will understand what that means. Like, Milwaukeeans will be like, what is he talking about? People from New York, what do you mean? Why are you putting an extra R on the car? Because we don't do that in Chicago. Anyway, I love music. And it's sweet, sweet music. And I really am a fan of these songs. So when there is a song that I get to present that I am a true fan of, then I fan out. And I've been saying this from the beginning, and I said it today and I'll say it again, to be able to go into the essence, the DNA of these tracks, to be able to break them down like this is the best part of DJing. Like, I can retire from, I'm semi-retired. I might DJ one time. I might DJ a New Year's Eve party. I might. But other than that, I'm like turning down gigs. Like, nope. I'm retired. I'm semi-retired. I'm sort of retired. Thank you for asking. Pandemic just got me wanting to sit in front of a computer and play stems for the people that want to hear these songs. And that is what I am into. That is my creative outlet. So if I hear songs on the radio and I was like, man, if I just had the stems, I'm listening to a lot of The Drive, and I said this on the last episode, the last live episode, which was last Wednesday, and they played a song by Led Zeppelin, the Wanton song, the Wonton song, or Wanton, whatever. I Shazammed it because I didn't know it. And if you're like, you don't know the Wanton song, like, you suck. Yeah, okay. But John Bonham, like their drums, I was like, this motherfucker is ridiculous. Absolutely. Like, I understand why every white kid that picked up a pair of drumsticks in the 70s wanted to be John Bonham. Because that motherfucker is ridiculous. And the way they mixed, like, they just didn't mix drums like that on rock records. It's almost like, I mean, I listened to rock records. I grew up white, right? I listened to rock records. They didn't mix drums like that. Like, they mixed drums differently on Led Zeppelin songs. John Bonham is a fucking beast, bro. And I listened to them. I was like, man, if I had the stems of that and can just solo this song, I listen to songs differently. Shout out to Miss Naima who said that. And it does. And if you listen to songs differently, or if you say to yourself, man, I wonder what that song would sound like on STEM Research, you're not the only one, because I do that all the time. So shout out to Groove Funkle, who was the first person to like really break this song down in a remix on YouTube. Find his page. He's on YouTube and he's on Facebook, and he does a whole bunch of really great stems only remixes. I got to shout out my guy who my man Sonic. I can't remember his last name, but I'm going to send him a shout out because this is that time of the show, man. It's the close. It's the close, baby. Sonic Extension. My man does some, him and Groove Funkle have some multi-track that you be like, word? Like, my man Sonic Extension has I Always Love My Mama, and he has Michael Jackson, not Human Nature, the song I was talking about earlier that Greg Fillinganes plays Rhodes on, I Can't Help It. He does a fucking edit of I Can't Help It, a remix. I'm sorry, we call it, in Chicago we say edit. I say edit, not every DJ says edit.
But so shout out to Sonic Extension, who we have chats on Instagram, on IG. So follow me on all my pages, man. And like I said, I do this show out of love, and thank you to everybody that watches. Shout out to let me send a shout out to my people. My people, of course, starting out with my Twitch family, the Stimulators. Shout out to the Stimulators, man. Y'all are the people who have helped to make the show what it is. So I must send a shout out to y'all. D. Nairi, Doc B, DJ Cirquette, Capricorn's Cave 80, Tony Jacks, Dragoon Knight 5515, Eastern 001. If you're out there, much love. Elliot Range with your crazy Pisces kids, man. I love it, man. Hilarious stuff. MC, what up? Miss Chris, Miss Aima. I love saying people's names like how they say them, or just giving them their own spin. Miss Shanita, Mr. Ton, Mr. Majors. An exclusive. It's an exclusive, which is, in retrospect, the greatest shit ever. It's an exclusive. I don't understand why I never got that. On 3D, Ray Llanos, the original DJ, J.U. Ice, Say John 46, Shalise R, Simsei 08, Shaggy Nice, Tiz Cloud, Virgo Pros, everybody on Twitch, Operator M's. Shout out, of course, to DJ Emmanuel. DJ Emmanuel. Shout out to you, sir. Thank you. Shout out to everybody on Facebook, Facebook family. Shout out to y'all. Shout out. If you're in the Facebook chat, shout out to you. Oh, I want to send another shout out. Hold up. Since we're doing shout outs and we got a 5-minute shout out music bed. There's people on Facebook. I have to shout out Curtis Mayfield's guitarist, who occasionally pops up in the chat for this show, and has some words. Craig McMullen, one of the few living remaining members of Curtis's band, man. Craig McMullen originally played on the Superfly soundtrack, bro. Shout out to you. Salute. Shout out to him, man. We're Facebook friends now. Slowly but surely. Man, I can't wait to start talking to some of these cats. I want to talk to TomTom84. I want to talk to Craig McMullen. I want to talk to all of the people, the architects of music on this show, when I have time. Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, 8 o'clock Central, 9 p.m. Oh, Wednesday we'll be back with First Choice, Armed and Extremely Dangerous, the song. Last time we did a track from Armed and Extremely Dangerous. We did Love and Happiness. Wednesday, we will do the song Armed and Extremely Dangerous, which is, and you will hear till infinity, my favorite first choice song of all time. Wednesday. So make sure you're here for Armed and Extremely Dangerous, the biggest hit. The biggest hit from First Choice.